We couldn't have asked for more excitement and fireworks from round one of the SCSRA Frye Disposal ARCA Series. But round two starts tonight at Iowa Speedway. 8 drivers remain hopeful to win the season championship. 1 could lock in a spot in the final round with the checkered flag waves with a win at Iowa. Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Joshua King, being joined once again by the reigning and defending Dev Sports Cards Cup Series champion, Jesse Whittington. Jesse, good to have you back with us this evening, buddy. Talk to us a little bit about Iowa Speedway and our race info for the night.
Oh man, Iowa Speedway, it is a different animal with how they have repaved this track so far. You're going to see these drivers loose on entry, loose on exit, really tight in the center. The balance goes away very quick, even with as new as the pavement is on the bottom. But we have 130 total laps tonight with a stage break at lap 45. A couple of surprises on the point standings coming in. I'll let you get to that. You know more about the situations at hand, but warm track, a lot of high tempers, so it's going to be a very interesting one tonight.
It certainly is, Jesse. Appreciate that. Let's take a look now at our point standings. First, we're going to take a brief look at the team points. Royalty Motorsports continuing to expand that lead. Mixed bag of race results for them last week. Warren Keith performing very well. Sharn Hill. Venom Racing, strong week last week as well. Beer Money Racing. Tank Racing, still all an opportunity to close that gap here late in the season. But the more pressing issue and more exciting point standings is going to be this one here, and I'd like to thank Lauren Vincent for the beautiful playoff graphic. Warren Keith, he locked in with a win in race 1 of round 1. Justin Parham, Matthew Fritsch, Jay Stinson currently above the cut line. Then you have Garrett Walden, Sharn Hill, Kenneth Redinger, Devin Zimmerman, the final driver to make it on points. And we want to look right here, Garrett Walden, Sharn Hill. Not great results last week. Garrett really struggled, but he got in based off 2 post-race penalties that were handed out. One of them to the 16 of Derek Da Silva. That was a lane violation basically on a restart, meaning he dropped or he changed lanes prior to crossing the line, the start-finish line. That was handed out a 5-point penalty. After the race, I'm not quite sure for that one if it resulted in him missing versus making it, but nevertheless, that was handed out. The bigger one, Jesse, that we talked about before we went live here this evening was, of course, the 46 of Michael Lepicki. He was slated to make this second round of the playoffs. He had a black flag cleared for passing under yellow or passing the pace car during the race last week at Talladega. He received a black flag, requested it be cleared, and in post-race review, the admins deemed that it was a legit black flag and it should not have been cleared. Due to the fact that he requested it be cleared, he received a 15-point penalty, which resulted in Garrett, among others, moving above him despite his better finish last week. So big blows for a couple playoff drivers after Talladega, resulting in what you see here. And Jesse, you can see on the graphic there that Warren, pretty comfortable, I would say. Anything could happen, right? If he strings together 2 poor races, he could see himself on the outside looking in. But everyone else, Justin Parham on back to Devin Zimmerman, really close race for all of those guys, or close points, I should say, for all of those guys with the 2 points in round 2 here. Talk to us a bit, Jesse, about what you feel guys like Kenneth Redinger, Devin Zimmerman have to do in these upcoming races to get into that top 4 and that final championship 4?
Stage points. That's my number one thing. Whenever anybody asks me what to focus on whenever you're points racing, if you're looking at it from the outside in, Warren Kyle Keith, he's kind of one of those guys that always, I mean, right now in the season, he's got 50 stage points. Matthew Fritz, he's got 70 stage points on the season. There's a reason these guys have stayed high up in the points, and that's because they're sitting here racking up on stage points. Same with Sharon Hill, 62 on the year. Garrett Walden, 44 on the year. So not quite as high as the others, but he's still getting a bunch of stage points. And whenever you have the opportunity to get essentially free points, go for it. So these guys really need to kind of look at how they can balance, not only getting a good finish, but getting those free points in the middle of the race. So I really think that a lot of these guys, 2nd through 8th, they're only separated by 6 points. That's a stage win, and you're looking on the inside instead of on the outside looking in. So
yep, and
that's where I would put my focus on.
I 100% agree. Stage points are precious, even more so races like tonight, next week. Different than Talladega, there's 2 stages during the super speedways. If you don't get one, try to get the other. Here, only one stage to capitalize and really put yourself in a better position. We are going to get now with a pre-race interview here. We're going to grab this guy. Whoa, as he spins out, look out. Okay, collection on track here. The 43 Pepsi machine of Garrett Walden. Probably a good time to pull him as he'll be pulling it back into pit road. Garrett, welcome to the broadcast booth. Joshua here. How are you this evening?
Pretty good, Josh. How are you? You scared me for a minute there. Wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, sorry, man. I just saw you getting a little incident there. Figured it'd be a good time to pull you. Garrett, we were just taking a look and doing a little recap on the point standings. Most of the week up until probably late last night, it was questionable, right? Were you going to make this second round or were you out of it? I think you would have been content with the way last week went, knowing, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm not in. But nevertheless, new life. You're on to round 2 now, sitting in a position to where you absolutely can capitalize. What's the focus now coming into tonight and even next week to secure yourself into that championship 4?
I think, tonight's going to be just from the way the car's driving. You've been seeing us a lot of a spin. I've been really kind of testing how far you can go with it. A lot of tonight is going to be just survival, running clean, and we kind of have the opposite here, that this track is going to wear the right rears of these cars more because of the way they lean in the corners. So you're going to be wanting to be saving that more than your right front, which is, most other tracks the way the cars drive do. So, a lot of tonight's going to be just staying out of trouble, keeping the nose clean. So it's going to be a lot of, just being consistent and just being there at the end, kind of, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just like any race, right, you go out there just consistent. This is more so a tire-saving track than others. And you have a perfect opportunity to pull off the Joey Logano, if you will, from 2024, where he was out, then he was back in, and then he went on to win that championship. So, Garrett, overall, how do you feel specifically about Iowa, this speedway, if you have a lot of experience on it, and your overall confidence level going into tonight's race?
I have pretty decent experience here, especially in the Cup car. Pretty good finishes here. Most times when I run here, you kind of run it like a little bit bigger Richmond, I think, in my opinion. But I'm pretty confident that I could get a solid finish here tonight. And then as far as the rest of it goes, I think we go into Kentucky next week, which, these cars can be kind of up in the air how they react to a mile and a half like Kentucky, the way it's configured. I mean, I feel pretty confident in, probably making it to the end, as long as, we don't get caught up in mess or, just something unexpected happens, which can happen. But I feel pretty confident that I can be there at the end.
Right on, Garrett. Well, I appreciate you joining us on last-second notice. And before we let you get back to work as we close in on 10 minutes to go here in the practice session, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, just thank the team. Obviously, with Royalty, you guys being the broadcaster and then running on this team has been a lot of fun running with these guys. And thanks to the admins for putting on the league as they do every week. And then a big shout out to my mom who's always watching my races. So that's about it for me though.
Right on, man. Well, good to talk to you as always. It's been a little while, but go out there tonight and put on a show. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be talking to you during or after the race.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Once again, folks, that was the driver out of Hendersonville, North Carolina in the 43 Bass Pro Shops Pepsi Chevy Camaro, Garrett Walden, looking to extend his playoff hopes. Jesse, time now to take a look at some of the drivers we got on track. If you want to run us through it, I'll take us through these guys.
Yeah, let's go with it. Right now we're looking at Travis Bennett. This is one of those guys. He hasn't shown up a bunch this year, but whenever he shows up, he is a threat. Really good racer. I've been on his team before. He's very passionate about it, so he's definitely one to keep your eye on throughout the night.
He definitely
Iconic
is.
colors right there.
Yep. Whenever he shows up, he's someone to watch. Here is your quick time in the practice session. He currently sits second in the overall points. That's the number 19, Justin Parham, with the red, white, and blue number 19 out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina in the Chevy Camaro. Another identifier for the playoff drivers, Jesse, and all of you at home, the bright neon green spoiler and windshield banner there. So for those of you following at home, and quick shout out to everyone out in chat. Alicia, as always, first one in the chat, always appreciated. Lauren Vincent texting and driving, saying what's up to us in the chat, getting ready for his race tonight. And Morgan, what's up, Morgan? Scooter Productions there in the chat as well. Feel free to chat, shout out who you're rooting for. I think I know most of who everyone's rooting for. Let's keep moving through the field. Jesse?
Matthew Fritz, this is, like I was saying earlier, stage points. They mean a lot. He is the stage point king so far on the season, earning 70 stage points on the year, which is the most of anyone in the series. And similar color. I mean, very familiar colors. He's been running this paint scheme for, I believe, just about the whole season, if not the whole season. But I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one. He was actually in like he's been in like a pink and white M&M pet sitting, I believe a red and white. Him and Jay Stinson with the red and white paint. But yeah, he's been running this one a lot. One of my favorites. Let's go now here to the 07, the 0-7 of Lauren Vincent.
I mean, yes.
Technically, sure. The Bass Pro Shops Cabela's 07 out of Salina, Kansas. This is his second season with the SCSRA, and good-looking paint there. Once again, shout out to him for making our playoff graphic. And shout out to you, Jesse, for always having the paramount knowledge on these guys' points and earnings throughout the season. That's impressive, and it's hard to do. Onward we go.
Ryan Hufford, this seems to be a crowd favorite every week in the chat. So for all the Ryan Hufford fans out there, here you go in his blue and black. I can't see what sponsor that is on the hood, but very iconic looking paint scheme. He's always got something that stands out over everyone.
Yeah, he definitely does. And my favorite part of the camera pack we normally run is a very zoomed in look at these cars, and don't have that tonight at Iowa, so we're just kind of rolling with it as Justin Parham goes for a loop-de-loop in front of
I can
Ryan.
say I appreciate the spec map on this car too.
Oh, this is a
chrome
gorgeous
numbers.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
He broke this out a couple weeks ago and been running with it since. Ooh, look out, look out. Ryan Hufford, if you're in chat, you're blinking just a little bit. And Jesse, I know you missed the race last week, but Ryan checked in the Heartbreak Hotel on the last lap of the race there at Talladega with an opportunity to win it and get himself into the second round. He unfortunately blinked out and found himself in Warren Keith's cockpit when he came back, and naturally that spelled disaster. Let's take a look at his teammate here in the 54. That's Nicholas Walthorn in the Rowdy Energy number 54 Chevy Camaro. And
another crowd favorite.
Yeah, always a crowd favorite. And as they do so often, Ryan Hufford and Nicholas Walthorn, 10th and 11th in the practice session. They always find each other. It seems like we're going to keep on moving through the field.
Ian Davis in the number 69 car. I really like the look of this car. I don't know too much about this guy. Let's see. You know what? I got the points pulled up. I want to try to do a little bit of research, live research. Ian Davis, 12 starts on the season. Let's see. 2 top 10s. And a few bonus points. Solid driver. I don't know why I haven't paid much attention to him this season, but he has been here all year. I do apologize.
Yeah, that's all right.
I do like the look of this car, though.
Yeah, it's a nice looking car. He's always got some cool looking paints. I'm trying to fix a small issue that was just brought to my attention here from Morgan. Says, hey Josh, just letting you know the guest's voice sound a little doubled over, making sound a bit weird. If you don't mind talking a little bit for us, Jesse, if you want to talk to us here about maybe the 99 of Kenneth Redinger, we'll see if Morgan can see if that's fixed up.
All right, not a problem at all. Kenneth Redinger, he's another guy that's always a force. I know from personal experience, especially at the bigger tracks, he's always leading laps, and he's always got a very similar looking paint scheme from the previous week. But this guy, he's, I would probably say one of the guys that you can kind of circle. He doesn't do it the flashy way, but my God, he always finds a way to get it done.
He said it was better,
Morgan,
so I guess we'll roll with that. I just made a quick change. We haven't had that problem, of course, in the many races that we've done this season, and now all of a sudden, of course, it's an issue, you know.
Hey, it's all good. we'll get it figured out. Bumps in the road and all.
Yeah, we adjust on the fly. Morgan, I did adjust something, so I don't know if that randomly was changed in a week's time, or if it just hadn't been an issue for whatever reason until tonight. But we'll roll with it.
I wonder if it could have possibly been from my end, because my mic was a little bit far away from my face.
I'm not quite sure. Looks like at certain times it's picking up like my mic and the sound from yours as well. But when we're live, I try not to mess with too much, because before you know it, then it messes something up and we can't get it back. So we're gonna roll with it. He said it sounds better.
I can confirm it's always best to not mess with things in the middle of a stream. Even my Twitch mod, he has a certain command that he puts in chat for me whenever I mess something up. That says fire the producer. Guess what? I am the producer. So
that's fair. Yeah,
can confirm.
We're gonna we're going to roll with it. But we're approaching 3 minutes here to go in the practice session. A long, hard look at Kenneth Redinger out of Reading, Pennsylvania, while we tried to figure out all our technical difficulties, and onward we go. Here's the 46 of Michael Lepicki out here still to race tonight. I appreciate that after unfortunately not making the second round, but he is out here along with teammates, so best of luck, Michael, this evening. Take a look at our title sponsor driver in the field, and that's going to be the 31 of Jay Stinson, rocking the Frye Disposal paint there. Appreciate Jay Stinson and Frye Disposal for being the title sponsor of the SCSRA ARCA series for the second year in a row, and I already got confirmation, Jesse, they're coming back for year 3, so that's exciting. Everyone at home, check them out at frydisposal.com and mention this broadcast, and you'll get $10 off your trash services that they run there in Smith County, Virginia, and the surrounding areas. I wish I got $10 off my garbage disposal services. That would be nice. But anyways, onward we go.
Ducky Balance. This, he's got a very interesting looking paint tonight. I don't know if I've seen it so far this season, but I like it. That white, the red, it looks good. From a distance, up close, I like it.
Yep, it does look good. New paint for Chucky as of 2 weeks ago as well. And of course, you missed last week, so it's brand new to you.
Well, hey, there we go.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's got 8 starts on the season. Longtime veteran of SCSRA. See him on track all the time, so good to see him back as usual.
Absolutely, and he pulls into pit road as we approach 1 minute remaining in the practice session. Here's another playoff driver out of Roxborough, North Carolina. Military Devin Zimmerman in the 36 Dragonbane Ford Mustang. Appreciate your service, Devin, and anyone else that may currently serve or be a veteran of the United States military. Morgan, don't worry about the jibber jabber, man. We like when people chat with us. We just might take a little longer sometimes to get to you.
Bring it on, Morgan.
Yeah, bring it on. He said, I was going to take a look at Sharn Hill, who's second quick in the practice, but he just pulled it off the track. So we've seen everybody, and as we are under 30 seconds, quick fire, Jesse, who's your pick to win tonight's race?
Ooh, why you got to put me under fire like this? Let's see. I think I am going to go with Sharn.
Okay.
I've been watching his times. He looks really consistent out there. If he can just focus on some of that racecraft and get it to the finish, I would not be surprised to see him win. He's been on the cusp of it just about all season, and I feel like, every race he's getting better in one area or another.
Right on, man. Sharn Hill, Jesse Whittington's pro pick for tonight's race at Iowa.
I don't know about pro, but I'll take it.
Hey, come on now. I am. Time to bring you qualifying as Devin Zimmerman, one of the first on track. We're not going to. That camera is terrible. Okay, that one is better. Watching Zimmerman from the blimp cam, apparently. Here's Ryan Hufford in the 83. We saw him. Here's someone we didn't see in the practice session, the Royalty Racing Network, number 72, Matt Baines. He got himself a stage win last week at Talladega. Here's 29, Nesquik Chevy Camaro Phil Ellis Jr. on his way out. Ian Davis is out there. His AJ Evangelista in the 5. Very similar paint scheme to the 41 of Chucky Balance, but he's got the Clean Air Show podcast on the Chevy Camaro number 5. Here's Derek Da Silva in the number 16. And Ryan Hufford first to put in a time, 23.262. He'll be the quick time so far. Devin Zimmerman put in a time, second quick. Matt Baines was fourth quick now. Ian Davis, 23.279. Second quick for now. Here's Lauren Vincent, 23.449, 6th out of 6 qualifiers. Phil Ellis Jr. jumps up to second quick, 23.273 on lap 1. Devin Zimmerman jumps over him, 23.179 on lap 2. Ryan Hufford still holds the quick time, 23.135. He improved on lap 2. Find you someone else out there. Maybe Chucky Balance is out there for his lap 2. He went 23.640 quick on lap 1. AJ Evangelista just hopped to 5th quick on his second lap. Chucky Balance to the line. Does he improve on lap 2? He does. 23.339, 9th quick out of 11 for Balance. Jay Stinson went 23.314 on lap 1. He's 8th quick currently. Coming around turn 4 to take lap 2. Michael Lipicki is out there as well. Garrett Walden just went 8th quick. Get a time on Stinson, and we'll browse at Walden. Stinson goes 23.207, 5th quick. Travis Bennett in the 01, 23.201 on lap 1. Watch him for lap 2. Garrett Walden just in time to see his second lap time. He went 23.222, 8th quick for Garrett Walden. Corey Bunch is in the field tonight in the 02, and he goes second quick. 23.153 on lap 2 for Corey Bunch. Bennett did not improve on lap 2, unusual, so he'll still sit 4th. Here's Walthorn for lap 2. Walthorn got anything? 23.226, goes 10th quick out of 18 qualifiers. Ryan Gomes is on the speedway, 23.374. Kenneth Redinger in the 99, he goes 6th quick now, 5th quick, my apologies. Sharn Hill, 23.139 on lap 1. He's got it second quick. That's where he was in practice. Can he move up one to take the pole away from Ryan Hufford late in qualifying? Sharn Hill to the checkered flag, lap 2, 23.093. New quick time for Sharn Hill. He will be on the pole as it stands right now. Justin Parham just finished. He was second quick. Matthew Fritz goes 4th quick. Here's Brandon Anderson, 23.261 on lap 1. He'll look to improve as it's 17th quick out of 23 qualifiers. Anderson, no time on lap 2, must have scraped the wall. Warren Keith, does he have time? Look out, hold on to it, Warren. Did he get out there quick enough to get laps in? That one counted, 24.132, 24th quick out of 24 on the field tonight. So Warren, with short practice time, will look to make moves here on lap 2, and he's the only one left on the grid. What up, Drafty? Welcome in. Lap 2, Warren Key, 23.195, jumps all the way up to 7th quick, but Sharn Hill will take the pole. And Jesse, you want to comment about how your pick wasn't a pro pick right now?
Yeah, I'm not a pro.
Looking pretty darn good, though, as your pick took away the pole with just moments to go in qualifying. Let's bring up tonight's starting grid here, if we can get it to show on the screen. There she is, and Sharn Hill in the 05 starting on the pole. Justin Parham in the 19 will roll off second. Ryan Hufford in the 83, strong qualifying from him. He'll start third. Matthew Fritz in the 67 will roll off fourth. Corey Bunch in the 02 will start fifth. Devin Zimmerman in the 36 will roll off sixth. Warren Keith will start 7th. Kenneth Redinger will start 8th. Travis Bennett in the 01 will start 9th. And rounding out your top 10 will be the 72 of Matt Bance. Jesse?
Very sorry about that. Starting P11 is going to be the number 31 at Jay Stinson. Holden Wheeler is going to start P12. Philip Ellis with a solid qualifying run starting P13. Michael Lipicki, like you said earlier, got to have some respect for him with the issues issues after last week, showing up to continue this week. Much respect, P14. Number 55 of Ryan Gomes starting 15th. Garrett Walden, after being out initially and back in this week, starting 16th. Nicholas Walthorn, 17th. Brandon Anderson is 18th. AJ Evangelista is 19th. Ian Davis rounds out your top 20. And then rounding out the field, Charles Balance, Derek De Silva, Lauren Vincent, and Josh Hall. Every driver tonight took a qualifying lap, and we have 24 guys in the field. Great look in winding down the season.
Yeah, absolutely. This ARCA series all season long, just like last season, has turned out big numbers, and good to see 24 cars on the grid tonight at Iowa. And Sharn Hill, Justin Parham looking to bring us to green. Looks like there's maybe some dust or something like that down on the inside of the racetrack, as several cars look like they got some smoke coming from the tires a little bit, but it is indeed just dust as the sun goes down.
We saw a lot of drivers spinning down to the inside, so I'm sure they kicked up some dust during practice. And the track state carries over from the previous session, so I'd have to imagine it's just some dust from all the spins we saw in practice.
Yeah, and good thing to be aware of as well is we'll bring up now our timing tower here. And top 3 drivers, playoff drivers. Then you got 6 playoff drivers starting off in the top 10.
Pace car is off. Going down pit road. Green flag is out. Very quick after the pace car dives to the inside. Inside line does not get a very good jump. Can't tell if somebody maybe missed a shift or maybe some of that dust down at the bottom as you were talking about earlier. But the 19 of Justin Parham makes a move on the outside to take the lead going off into turn 3.
New leader already, Justin Parham to the front. They're 3 wide for just a moment. A little bit further back, looks like Jace Stinson is in the middle. Can't tell, I think that's Holden Wheeler there. Yeah, Stinson backs out of it. That is Holden Wheeler. Always throws me off, him and Sharn Hill. But they sort it out. Back up front, Justin Parham already in the lead over Sharn Hill.
Yeah, and Parham is one of those guys. He likes to get after it early on in these runs, and he's doing more of it here tonight. But after the start on the initial start, where it's required to go on the flagman's discretion, it's going to be interesting to see if anybody even wants to think about choosing the inside on a restart. Coming down through the later stages of the race.
Yeah, based off the way that started, we just saw Corey Bunch get past the 83 of Ryan Hufford. Now we'll take a look here at the 99 of Kenneth Redinger, battling the 29 of Phil Ellis Jr. And I'll get my words straight eventually here. Maybe by lap 10 I'll figure it out. Phil Ellis Jr. in that 29, awfully loose there, Jesse, off corner exit of turn 4. He wrangles it back in though and stays straight.
Yeah, remember earlier in the pre-race I was talking about how loose these cars are coming off the corner. Going from that transition of the new pavement to the old pavement, it's so hard to judge, as we got a few people that are around in the back of the pack right now. Also, the 46 of Michael Lepicki, he kind of made contact about a lap and a half, 2 laps ago, and got loose in front of the field as well. So, as you can see, some of the smoke as the field trails off of turn 2. There's a lot of action going on all over the track right now.
Jumping around like crazy because we got side-by-side battles, but then we got smoke in front of the field and multiple people already either finding damage or spinning on their own. This battle between the 67 of Matthew Fritz and the 02 of Corey Bunch settles down briefly here. Matthew Fritz, one of the few Corey Bunch, one of the few electing the top side thus far, along with the 9 of Warren Keith. But
I got to mention, we got a battle for the lead right now as well. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm
but,
glad you did. Thank you.
Sharn Hill is making a charge trying to get down to the inside of the 19 of Justin Parham as he changes up his line a little bit on the entry of turn 3 to see if he can set up a pass. But he was underneath the 19 of Parham for about 4 or 5 corners there.
Yeah, great racing up front here between these 5-6 cars. Of course, Matthew Fritz still in the mix. Corey Bunch still there. We're going to take a look at that battle once again. Fritz way up the speedway. Is Ryan Hufford in the 83 still blinking just a little bit? No, you don't.
that old pavement above the dark new pavement down low, it is really tough. If you cannot get your car settled down into the corner, you have almost no grip. It's dusty, it's oily, it's everything wrong that you could think of. And it's not fun.
No, it looked every bit of that when he got up there just for a little bit. Now here's the battle for second. Teammate Sharn Hill and the 9 of Warren Keith. But Sharn's going to be able to fend off that attack for now as they fan out a little bit and keep it single file here into turn 1.
And you can see the 9 of Warren Kyle Keith. He changed from the inside line and he tried to make a move and set up a run on the outside and got really loose off of turn 4. So, and he chooses to go back to the high side this time. So, well, the high side here is only about 1.5 lanes off the bottom, so take that with a grain of salt.
Fair enough. He takes another look to the inside of the 05 of Sharn Hill. Look out. Ooh, that was awfully close as Ryan Hufford, just a little wall tap. He wrangles it in. Let's go back here. Holden Wheeler was battling the 31 of Jay Stinson moments ago, trying to find battle on the speedway a little bit further back. Here's Nicholas Walthorn with the 72 of Matt Bayens. And Bayens, Jesse, struggling just a little bit here early on, down 6 spots so far. Something to be concerned about maybe, or just some tire saving?
Maybe a little bit of both, to be honest with you, because I saw he had a big moment earlier, and hopefully he took that as a lesson learned, and is able to do something to correct that and move forward later on. But I would not be surprised to see him backing off. He's one of those types of guys that does try to save a little bit throughout a run. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit either way.
Yeah, long way to go here. Once again, folks, stage at lap 45 as Matthew Fritz looks to the inside of the number 9 of Warren Keith. He nearly pulled off the 2-for-1, Jesse, as he got past the 02 a bunch, and in the same corner almost got past the 9. It took a little bit longer. Looks like he's going to do it and set his sights on the 05 of Sharn Hill here as well.
Yeah, and I noticed, besides a couple corners here and there, he's been the one that's been consistently wrapping that white line on the bottom of the track every corner. And it seems to me like, we're only 17 laps into this race, and it seems to me like it's paying off way better than it is some of these guys that are trying to diamond the corner or take that high arc entry and get it down to the bottom late in the corner. I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but he's found some speed coming up from P6 just moments ago.
Yeah, Matthew Fritz now, for the moment, takes over second place. Sharn Hill looking to do the old switcheroo on him and go to the inside himself. Couldn't hold it quite as well, and Fritz, good, strong run off the corner. Now he'll set his sights on the 19 of Justin Parham, and we're going to keep it right here. I feel a battle brewing for the lead here in a lap or two.
Yeah, and I'd like to mention, you can see the difference in the line, mainly, especially on corner entry. Fritz, it seems like he's trying to get down to that new pavement as quick as he can. He's got a really shallow entry compared to those around him. And his exit, he's trying to get up into that new pavement as quick as he can. So, As
That
God
was not
bless,
good. Let's
Lipicki
go.
does not look like he's having a good time right now.
Michael Lipicki broken, and that explains it. He took a hard right turn into that wall, got into Kenneth Redinger, who, at least for the time being, seems to be okay. Let's go back to this now. As Warren Keith back on the outside of the 67 of Matthew Fritz, and I don't know what happened here, but Fritz was closing quickly on Justin Parham, and now Parham appears to found another gear, so to speak, as he's driven away from the 67 a little bit more again.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with the avoidance of trying to not hit the broken car of Michael Lipicki, but Fritz, Redinger, there's the caution. I know the 67 of Fritz is not going to be happy to see that caution, but at the same time, it might be exactly what he was hoping for.
Yeah, let's go take a look here and see what happened to Kenneth Redinger on the Royalty Racing Network replay.
And just a simple case of getting loose off the corner. Like I've said, I'm going to continue to say it throughout the night, and I'm going to stand by my word. That transition going from new pavement to old pavement is not easy. And these cars want to dance around big time whenever you're trying to plant the power. But no contact, just getting loose off the corner. Maybe a little bit of a pinch from the 09 of Wheeler, but can't really blame Wheeler too much on that one. Just seems like a case of getting loose and not being able to correct it.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if that damage we saw from Michael Lipicki to Kenneth Redinger had something to do with that as well. Impacted the way the car was handling, but really nice job there by the 99 to lock it up, keep it from either going to that inside wall or coming back up the speedway. As you saw, it turned to go right on him, and he locked up the brakes. So really nice job there. Couple pit stops here to make note of. Matt Baines in the 72 is in. Kenneth Redinger, of course, is in. Josh Hall and Ryan Gomes down pit road. Michael Lipicki.
Looks like Gomes and Redinger taking some damage repair.
Looks that way. Extended pit stops for Gomes and, well, Redinger not too extended, 21 seconds. Gomes, 28 seconds. Not nearly the amount of time you have here at Iowa as you have at places like Talladega last week, Jesse, but they get a few seconds worth fixed anyways. So Justin Parham, Matthew Fritz, Warren Keith, Sean Hill, Corey Bunch, your top five to bring us back to green here momentarily. Top four now, all playoff drivers.
Yeah, and I want to make a quick point. You were talking about potential damage causing the car to drive a little bit different. A lot of people would think, you get some nose damage or you get some damage that affects your aero, it's going to make you tight. But at the same time, whenever your car gets tight and the nose starts pushing, you're trying to turn more wheel into it, and you're coming off the corner and trying to give it gas. Guess what? The rear end wants to step out because you still got the thing cranked to the left trying to get it to turn where you want it to. So, yes, very, very good take there of potential damage affecting the way that the car is handling, especially coming off the corner.
Appreciate that insight as always, Jesse. And lining them up 2 by 2 now once again as the lights on the iRacing.com pace car turned off, and we will have 12 to go till the 45, not 40. My apologies.
18 to go, or 17 to go.
Thereabouts, yeah, 17 to go.
6 or 7.
Couple playoff drivers right outside of stage points right now, and Devin Zimmerman, Garrett Walden restarting 12th and 13. We'll keep a close eye on them after the restart, see if they can't squeeze up in there. Of course, they're going to need everything they can get with, as it stands, 5 playoff drivers would accrue at least a stage point.
And the pace car dips down into pit road. Parham gets a great launch on the outside, as it looks like there's a little bit of tire spin in some later rows. Not necessarily up front, but Sean Hill gets to jump to the outside. He goes from P4. And he gets into the wall. Well, I was about to say he's making the pass for P2 and then just slapped the wall.
That was the old broadcaster's curse. Of course, not nearly as bad. Yeah, it sure did. Not nearly as bad as we've seen it in the past, though, but they settled things down all single file up there in the top 5. Let's go back here. Travis Bennett, Ryan Hufford, Brandon Anderson, all kind of battling. Anderson and Hufford side by side right now. Hufford steadily falling back just a little bit. Maybe cooked the tires or didn't get a good restart. We saw that on the initial start. He didn't have a good start either, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, this track is tricky. Whenever you have worn tires, it's hard to plant the power to it, especially on these restarts. So, and it takes a second for the tires to get back up to temperature where you're actually feeling grip. So, wouldn't be surprised at all if he just had some issues getting up to speed and staying up to speed right here. But I got to give it to Brandon Anderson. He's our biggest mover so far right now. He's up 11 spots, up to P7.
Yeah, he's doing great in the Milwaukee Chevy Camaro 49 here. Yeah, that's on the center of your screen is now Hufford. Looks to battle back on the inside. Does he have enough left? As we see some smoke again in front of the field, but no incident to report as of late, or as of now. 83 of Hufford, hanging tough, just not quite able to capitalize on exit of these corners.
Yeah, it's really hard. The inside line is where you want to be to save the tires, clearly. I mean, Fritz has shown us that. But it is so hard to complete a pass on the bottom because you carry so much more momentum on the outside. So this is kind of one of those situations. If you want to make a pass, you kind of have to trail it off into the corner way deeper and slide up, make the guy right next to you check up a little bit. And it's hard to do that at a track like this.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially as those tires wear, like you mentioned. Here's a battle right now for potentially the last stage point on the evening as the laps tick down awfully quickly. This is the 29 of Phil Ellis Jr. and the 31 of Jay Stinson. Now he's right on that quarter panel. The 09 of Holden Wheeler, and they keep it clean. That got awfully close, but neither one of these drivers willing to give an inch as they try to close in on a stage point here.
I mean, we've seen time and time again, 1 point can be a huge difference. And right now, as the standings are, literally half of our playoff field is on the outside looking in. So, well, now we don't have the outside. We got 5 of the 8 right now on the outside looking in. So, and one of those guys is in 10th place. He's only going to get 1 point if the stage was to end right now. Oh, and looks like some more smoke down the front stretch.
Yeah, a lot of smoke.
A lot of smoke tonight.
It certainly has. And if I'm Jay Stinson, Jesse, not only can I think, am I thinking, hey, I cannot afford to drop out of stage points. I'm thinking, hey, I got to find a way to move up and get 2 or 3 stage points as opposed to finishing 10th here. If I'm looking at who's running 1st through 4th right now, Stinson holding his own right now, kind of back and forth, but got some traffic in front of him. Phil Ellis Jr. in the 29 now looking to move up another spot. Holden Wheeler just on that outside. Jay Stinson, not a whole lot of room to go anywhere here.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a personal decision or the way that his car is driving, but he's not doing a whole bunch of like searching around or anything like that. It seems like his car is being a handful right now, as two guys around him actually have some trouble, and now we have two good playoff drivers of Jay Stinson and Garrett Walden that jump up into the points paying positions.
Yeah, and you know what?
Bill Ellis
I'm
is
sorry.
on pit road now.
Yeah, three guys down pit road. That may be more of a scheduled stop type of thing, as we'll watch their pit times, and we'll give those to you at home, folks. But Jay Stinson, Garrett Walden have to be feeling okay about that. If they can hold on to some stage points here with the way it was shaping up, both of them right there. Let's take a look now. Pit stops. Brandon Anderson, Ian Davis, all scheduled, both scheduled, it would appear, 14, 15-second pit stops. Phil Ellis Jr., on the other hand, a problem of sorts, actually a black flag. So Phil Ellis Jr., I got to believe he was trying to flip the stage and put himself in a good spot. Not going to work out for him, though, as he did get a pit road penalty, now approaching a minute on pit road, and that is going to sting a little bit for the 29 of Phil Ellis Jr.
Yeah, and if that is a scheduled pit stop, I'll be completely honest. I don't understand that call. According to what I was seeing, you should be able to get over 80 laps on a tank of gas. So if you pit, I mean, I understand you wouldn't have to pit, as pit lane is closed now, but you're going to lose a lap. There's short laps here. A 15-second pit stop is almost a complete lap around this track.
Yeah,
I'm kind of lost if that was scheduled.
Right, and to your point, Brandon Anderson, Ian Davis, who we saw come down with the 29 of Phil Ellis Jr., did lose a lap, as now we see the 43 of Garrett Walden trying to hang on for dear life for one stage point, or I'm sorry, 2 stage points against the 54 of Nicholas Walthorn as they come to the line here. Looks like Jay Stinson, Garrett Walden going to work in to some stage points late due to those pit stops. Justin Parham going to be your stage winner. And I know way too early to make a judgment call or a for sure decisive call, but we'll have to watch how it might pan out for Brandon Anderson and Ian Davis here, Jesse. Like you said, I don't agree with it either, but only time will tell here as they slow up for the pace car to catch the field. Top 10 for the stage: Justin Parham, Matthew Fritz, Sean Hill, Travis Bennett, Warren Keith, Corey Bunch, Ryan Hufford, Jay Stinson, Garrett Walden, Nicholas Walthorn, the top 10. And I assume we're going to see the whole field pit here, with the exception of maybe a few. Or maybe they'll all just elect to take tires. We will see. Matt Baines, he is in. That was one guy, came in on lap 24 during the caution. I wasn't quite sure if he was going to come down again. Michael Lepicki going to take the lucky dog here, so he'll get back on the lead lap, I do believe. And Brandon Anderson as well. Phil Ellis Jr., Ian Davis. So, don't have a pit road cam for us this evening, but it does look Justin Parham will take that spot coming off pit road first.
A big shakeup in the top 5. Warren Keith jumps 2 spots, and Sean Hill loses 2 spots.
Yeah, Sean Hill just slightly slower on pit road, about a second slower than Warren Keith, and just a fraction slower than Travis Bennett. He'll restart 5th, so not too bad for the 05. But Kenneth Redinger looking to make moves here. The majority, well, 7 out of 8 guys. No, I'm sorry, 6 out of 8. Devin Zimmerman did not get a stage point there, but 6 out of 8 playoff drivers did get a stage point, and short track here, so we're not going to even attempt to get a brief interview with the 19 of Justin Parham, simply because out of respect to him, he's got to worry about these guys getting the wave around in front of him, lining up in the right position, and I do not want to be responsible for something going wrong since he's a playoff driver. Jesse, what's your thoughts there on stage 1?
I mean, clearly tires mean something. I don't know if I would necessarily say any surprises up front. You know, the top 4 or 4 of the top 5 were covered with playoff drivers. Travis Bennett is the lone wolf in that top 5 that isn't in the playoffs. I mean, realistically, not really anything out of the norm, but at the same time, we saw how this race is going to kind of play out. If it goes green, tires mean so much.
I hope we do see how it plays out under green flag conditions, as we will get ready to go back green here after the one and only stage caution.
Pace car dives onto pit road. It's a short run to the restart box as the 19 of Parham gets another wonderful jump up high. Oh, we got somebody, we had somebody hollering about a black flag. It looks like that flag got cleared. But 9 of Warren Kyle Keith, he gets a really good jump on the inside and actually gets a run off of turn 2, and he's going to be setting up a pass to get by the 67 of Fritz to be from 3rd to 2nd on the first lap after the restart.
He is working that outside lane, and now the 19 of Justin Parham actually gives him an opportunity to pull side by side with him. I thought maybe the 19 was going to stay up high, which would give the 9 fits, and he does pull off the pass for the lead right as the caution comes out. So I do expect Warren Keith to restart from the number 1 spot. That was an exciting restart for sure. Let's go back here, take a look at what happened to bring out the 3rd caution of the evening.
I didn't have this pop up on my screen, so let's all learn together. See, I'm not 100% sure where this starts. Ooh. Excuse me. Looks like a classic case of the bumps and close racing. And then chaos. Let's see, who is that in the 5 car? Is that
5 cars, AJ Evangelista here.
Yeah, he was just on the high side of Michael Lepicki.
Let's go back, take another look at it here.
It looks to me like he gets a little bit of a run on the outside. Comes off the wall a little bit. Lepicki's kind of moving up a little bit. Just kind of wrong place, wrong time, in my opinion. A little bit of a racing incident. If I had to put this on anyone, I would probably say AJ is a little bit more to blame. He's the guy on top. He's the one that hit with the front bumper. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to put blame on somebody, it's going to be on the guy that controls it with their front bumper. So,
yeah, and a lot of guys wrapped up in that one.
Yeah. Looked like about 8 cars collected total in that wreck. But, yeah, unfortunate. 46 has not had a very good night, and it went from bad to worse right there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, no playoff drivers wrapped up in that. But as you mentioned, unfortunately, 8 total cars. AJ Evangelista, Ryan Gomes, Lauren Vincent, Phil Ellis Jr., Lepicki, Matt Baines might have got a small piece of it, as well as Chucky Balance. But Warren Keith going to be restarting this one from the lead. Justin Parham, Matthew Fritz, Travis Bennett, Sharn Hill to follow to round out the top 5. Devin Zimmerman creeps closer to the top 10. And one thing I wanted to touch on now, we talked about how many playoff drivers finished with stage points. That's going to amplify the finishing position importance for all of these drivers, more so Redinger and Zimmerman, obviously, without getting any stage points. But it kind of keeps everyone more even and equal, if you will, being that 6 out of 8 were able to get some stage points.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm slowly working on doing some math to kind of see how we're looking on the playoff bubble going to the finishing results, not including bonus points. But yeah, I mean, we had, like I said, 4 of the top 5 were playoff drivers, and then we had 2 more that were a little bit further down that got a few points. But you know, the guys that needed points wasn't where they needed to be. So pace car dives off onto pit road. We're green, and good Lord, the jump that the 9 of Warren Kyle Keith got on the outside this time. Barham was not expecting it, it didn't look like. And he's going to settle down into 3rd, possibly 4th. Nope, 3rd it is.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of funny to see now. I was curious because every restart so far we've seen Justin Parham from the lead. This time was the first one that it hasn't been him, and he was on the low side. Seems like that low side so far very consistently does not get quite the jump that top side gets.
Yeah, and partially probably because the bottom side is a little bit dirtier. You're going to get a little bit more wheel spin. But at the same time, you have to think, you're trying to react to the car that's in front of you, or, well, the car that's on the outside of you, trying to time it whenever they hit the gas. But a big trick whenever you're lined up on the outside of someone is you listen for their exhaust. When you're on the inside, their exhaust is facing on the opposite side of the car. It's hard to judge. So you're basing it solely on the movement and the jump of the car.
More great insight there. Thank you for that, Jesse. And great battles all the way through the field here, just trying to pick one. And right now, this looks like the closest. Going to be Holden Wheeler, Jay Stinson, Ryan Hufford, all right here, back and forth. Garrett Walden trying to work his way into this mix, as well as the 49man Brandon Anderson. 5 cars right now, all with an opportunity, as now we see Hufford just fall back a little bit as he blinks once again.
Yeah, Hufford has had a little bit of an issue with the blinks, as you said, last week and this week. Hopefully you can kind of get that figured out, because it seems to me like it's affecting not only himself, but those around him. Ooh, 49.
Oh, look out! Ooh. Sorry to jump in front of you there, but that could have gone
no,
really
he about
bad.
Jumped in front of everyone.
Yeah, great driving from Brandon Anderson in the 49, as well as great awareness from the 43 of Walden and the 83 of Ryan Hufford to keep that close. Tight battle up front now between the 19 of Justin Parham, the 9 of Warren Keith, and then those 2 orange beauties right behind him. The 01 of Travis Bennett, the 02 of Corey Bunch. This all of a sudden, Jesse, became a 5-car battle now with the 67 of Matthew Fritz getting in there.
Yeah, and Matthew Fritz once again just working that bottom side the way that he is. It's I can't believe more drivers aren't trying to do the same thing that he is, because clearly it was working in stage 1 and it's working again here in stage 2, as we still have 65 laps to go in this race. But man, it's hard to argue whenever you see something working. Why not try it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw the 19 of Justin Parham take back the lead from the 9 of Warren Keith. And I have a little bit of a theory maybe on why other drivers or some other drivers haven't adopted that real low line like the 67 of Matthew Fritz. We've seen a lot of guys get really loose there off exit of the corners or even through the middle of the corners. They may just flat out not be comfortable enough to tuck it down there. Now we see the 01 of Travis Bennett try to do the same thing, and he gets loose on cue. And man, I look like a genius right there. But Sharn Hill now going to be able to pull side by side with the 01 of Travis Bennett.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to overdo the entry and the exit at this track. So, you know, watching the way that some of these guys are running, as you can see, some of these guys that were running the high side, they're kind of dropping down to the bottom and trying to emulate what the 67 of Matthew Fritz is doing. But, yeah, I mean, you're spot on. Like, these guys are all over the place just trying to get this car figured out.
Something may be wrong with the 9 of Warren Keith, as now he's back to 4th place. A mere 2 laps ago, he was your leader, folks, and he seems to be quite a bit slower than these guys chasing him down. The 02 of Corey Bunch just went past him. Now he's got to worry about, oh, look out, the 5 of Sharn Hill in the wall just a little bit.
Ooh, remember earlier I said work on that racecraft, keep the car clean. He was my pick, but you got to be able to keep the car clean, and hitting the wall that hard isn't going to help anything. But he keeps it together, and he's going to continue to try to stay in front of the 01 to Travis Bennett and see what he can do, and I guess try to make up some more spots here, see if he can catch those guys in front of him. But he's a whole 1.2 seconds behind.
Sharn Hill did rally, though. He kept it straight. Didn't lose too much momentum, but now the 01 of Travis Bennett giving that bottom line another go, and he keeps it straight this time. Going to have a good run off exit. Sharn Hill does have teammate Holden Wheeler right behind him, and Holden says, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a look to the inside as well, buddy. Figure it out yourself. More contact right behind him, though. Garrett Walden, Nicholas Walthorn mix it up just a little bit as Walthorn in the 54 was able to keep it straight. Garrett Walden was able to get in front of him, though, and now as we see almost every single race, Nicholas Walthorn, Ryan Hufford, right next to each other, teammates on Hufford Racing.
Yeah, those are two guys. You could give it any race, any track, they're going to be right next to each other throughout the night at some point.
They will.
And a lot of times for a lot of laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're going to look to battle each other as Nicholas Walthorn looks to fend off the fight from the 83 of Ryan Hufford, as he will do so. Someone to keep an eye on, Jesse, the 31, Frye Disposal, Chevy Camaro of Jay Stinson. He's up 4 spots on the night. He's really started to come into his own after stage 1. We saw him kind of struggle to just hang on to stage points. He's moving up through the field. Now got the 31 in 7th.
Oh, Lord. I'm very sorry. We got some drivers that are getting heated. Woo! As we got the 07 of Lauren Vincent. He was on the inside of the raceway, completely spun around, and we had a few people come up in the chat saying, please get off the track. I don't know what exactly happened, but it seems to me like it may have been pretty close.
Take a quick
Lauren
look
just getting
here.
loose.
Oh, as he tries to save it. Oh, and spins her around in the middle of the racing surface and quickly dives down to the bottom. Good driving there. I mean, no fault of his own, right? He tried to save it, and then it just, worst case scenario, threw him back up on the speedway after not being able to save it, but all clean and green here. Didn't look like he took much damage. Justin Parham still your leader. Let's go back to a little bit of a battle here. Brewing into a 4-car battle is Sharn Hill in the 05. Continues to go a little bit backwards. May have a little damage there. Is now Garrett Walden in the 43 looks to go by him. This battle for 8th now.
And forgive me, there's just so much going on right now. The 05 Sharn Hill, he's losing a lot of positions. It's not going to help if he's up above that the new patch of asphalt that's on the first 3 lanes of the track. We're getting down to 50 laps to go here. These guys are going to be starting to look at their pit window, see whenever that opens up. But unfortunate for Sharn, he must have some damage that's kind of holding him back some, as we got Fritz that's caught right up to the back bumper, the 19 of Parham, and then gets loose coming off of turn 4. That is a trouble zone, the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it looked like Matthew Fritz was going to chase him down real quick. We got a battle for 3rd now as Warren Keith goes right by the 0-2 of Corey Bunch on the inside, almost like he was standing still. And now the 9 of Keith working his way back up. He dropped back to 4th, got back up to 3rd now. And to your point, Jesse, going to be interesting to see how long we see these guys drag it out before they elect to come in for a pit stop. Let's check in on Devin Zimmerman in the 36. Appears to be struggling a bit as well. He's 10 down on the evening, currently sitting 16th, and he is...
no stage points on the night. That's not going to help his case being below the cut line as well.
Absolutely no stage points, and now sitting 16th currently. Zimmerman going to have to figure something out here as we get late into this race. Michael Lepicki, Brandon Anderson going to battle for 14th right in front of them as they rub tires just a little bit, and they sort it out amongst themselves, all clean.
I'm at a loss for words. These guys are putting on one heck of a show for us tonight. I will say, like I said earlier, 80-plus laps of gas is what I expected for these guys on a tank of fuel tonight. It's looking to me like some of these guys are probably going to be able to make it to the end. Most of them, if not all of them, should be able to. But depending on tire fall off, it might be interesting to see if any of these guys try to take a gamble and just turn some fast laps at the end of the race.
Oh,
99 to Kenneth Redinger.
Just as I was about to talk about Redinger squeaking up into the top 10, he gets loose off exit like we've seen so many times before. Didn't hit anything, so another good job from Redinger. But now he's going to have to settle back in 19th place. Will the 99, and if there's ever a little glimmer of hope and positivity for the 36 of Zimmerman, that would be one as of now. Still a lot of work to do. He's got to get up into the top 4 to go to the championship. But, man, I was literally just going to say it. I'm glad that happened before I said it.
Yeah, we can officially say that was the broadcaster's curse. You know, since you were thinking it happened.
Yeah, it sensed it that time as opposed to me having to say it. But let's check in here on one of our biggest movers on the night. These two guys actually next to each other right now, Garrett Walden, Nicholas Walthorn, both up 8 positions on the evening. Your two biggest movers right now, and if there was an award for it, Garrett Walden would get it just simply by finishing position higher. But both drivers doing a miraculous job here late in this race. And you know what, Jesse, they may be two drivers to look out for here coming up through the field late.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Both of these guys seem to be the type of guys that like to save their tires, especially for the end of a run. And especially with both of them kind of running a very consistent line. Both of them kind of making up some time. Both of them are up 8 spots on the night. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking at all if we see them chase down the guys that are in front of them.
Yeah, just as you say that, we see the 54 just take a little peek to the inside of the 43. 43 scrubbed the wall just a little bit, didn't kill enough momentum though to give Walthorn a real good look, but the 43 has teammates Ryan Hufford and Nicholas Walthorn right on his back bumper.
I did the math. After bonus points for leading a lap and stage points, he's on the outside looking in. He is 5 points below the cut line, which is Sharn Hill. Of course, that's not based on running position. That's just based off of stage finish and a bonus point for leading a lap. So, he's going to be looking for more. He's definitely going to be battling hard here, trying to keep this position, especially to a non-playoff driver.
Yeah, I think at that point, realizing where you came in with the stage points and where your playoff competitors came in, and then what would appear to be some trouble either with some damage or with the tires, for Sharn, it has to be salvage time, right? Maybe come out of here with a top 10, feel decent about it, and put yourself in a position where you can really get it done next week, or have another solid top 10 and maybe hope things go south for some of your playoff competitors. And I mean, we don't know. We have plenty of time in this race for a lot of things to still happen, but Sharn Hill right now battling for 12th with the 46 of Michael Lepicki, just trying to manufacture something. He's got another playoff driver in Devin Zimmerman creeping up on him, who has now picked up 2 spots since the last time we checked in on him. This would be a third to get him up to 13th, Jesse.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit pre-race before we even started the pre-race show. How important it is to pick your battles. As we actually see Warren Kyle Keefe, he's closed in over a second and a half. He's right on the bumper of Matthew Fritz right now. But we were talking heavily on picking your battles, and seems to me like tonight Sharn is just in one of those positions. He's going for everything he can, and he's kind of been putting himself in a bad spot. And he's now down to P14. He's so far the biggest loser. I take this with a grain of salt. Garrett Walden had a big moment. Oh no, that is not good for his playoff hopes.
No, so bad time to cut to him there, and I apologize, Walden. He was making his way down to pit, and then apparently had a little bit of an issue there while making his way onto pit road. That was not my intention to show that, but yes, agreed with what you said there regarding Sharn Hill. Good battle here near the middle / back of the pack. Ryan Gomes, Brandon Anderson, and Ian Davis all mixing it up. This would be for 15th, as well as AJ Evangelista in that battle right now for 14th. They're closing in on Sharn Hill. The reason I did show Walden is because it was our first guy up towards the front of the pack that elected to pit here, and we'll have to see if anyone else decides to start coming down. But really nice battle here. Take another look at a battle on track. Matt Bayens just got by the 46 of Michael Lepicki. Bayens now making his way up into the top 10 for the first time this evening. And I mentioned it, Matthew Fritz now down pit road. He was running third, I believe, deciding to come in. Jesse, do you think a couple of these guys inside the top 10 electing to come down pit road kind of is a sign of what's to come for the rest of them?
Yes and no. Like I said, whenever I was practicing earlier, I'm looking at 80 plus laps of gas, and I mean, we only had 85 laps or 82 laps, I believe it was, from the end of stage 2, or from the end of stage 1 to the end of the race, as we got a battle for the lead brewing right now. The 9 of Warren Kyle Keith is trying to make a pass on the outside, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it to stick. It looks like his car is handling really good at this point of the run, and well, he's not able to claim it on the entry of the corner. Let's see if he's able to get the momentum on the outside, and he does. Lead change, Warren Kyle Keith, temporarily.
Yeah, he's going to have him just momentarily, and now it looks like that good runoff exit at turn 4 is going to complete that pass, and now we're starting to see that outside lane prevail just a little bit more way later in the race. There's now a couple more guys down pit road here. Jay Stinson, a playoff driver. Ryan Hufford also in. Nicholas Walthorn on his way out. Phil Ellis Jr. is in. And maybe, Jesse, do you think that maybe that inside lane that guys like Matthew Fritz have been running all night long just has a little bit more wear on the tires? This outside lane's starting to look a little bit stronger here late.
I mean, it could, but also it might just be how you're running the outside lane or inside lane. If you're trying to carry a lot of momentum on and off the corner, cranking a bunch of wheel into it, it doesn't matter what line you choose. You're going to wear that right front down big time anyways. So, you know, it's kind of one of those situations of who is, or how they're running the line, I should say. And, you know, it's very interesting for me to see.
Yeah, and we took a brief glimpse at the 01 of Travis Bennett making his way down pit road. Add him to the list of guys electing to pit as now the battle for the lead intensifies once again. The 19 of Justin Parham looking to battle back on the 9 of Warren Keith. Updates on Devin Zimmerman and Sharn Hill. Zimmerman now up into 7th. He hasn't pit just yet. Sharn Hill into 10th again. Redinger just outside the top 10 and 11th. And now we see Justin Parham take the outside lane, and he's going to take the lead back from the 9 of Warren Keith. What great racing tonight.
You are not lying about that. We have seen some fantastic racing from start to finish. But, you know, it's still very interesting for me to sit here and watch, because I was not expecting to see this many drivers pitting, but maybe there's some extra tire wear that I wasn't aware of. Maybe they're chewing up a little bit more of the fuel than I was expecting. But, you know, if the whole green flag cycles through, I mean, it's going to be hard to bet against somebody like Matthew Fritz. You know, he came in, got his pit service done, and, you know, he's out here just turning quick laps while everybody else is essentially putt-putting around, as we got Parham diving onto pit road.
Yeah, your leader, Justin Parham, down pit road now, and that once again turns the lead back over to Warren Keith. Corey Bunch in 2nd. Holden Wheeler running 3rd. Matt Baynes in 4th. Michael Lepicki rounds out your top 5. Devin Zimmerman just outside there. Oh, we have a caution, and oh my goodness. Jesse, what do you think this is going to do now?
I've been sitting here with my mouth wide open. Oh, Fritz has a ton of damage on the front of his car. I am not sure what happened here.
Before we get into strategy call, let's take a look here at this incident, perhaps.
Looks like 49 just gets loose off a corner exit. Nowhere for the 29 of Phil Ellis Jr. to go. And realistically, I mean, it's hard to judge where these guys are going to be going. You never know if they're going to wash up the track or come back down the track.
Man.
So, good Lord.
Yeah.
Tough break for Matthew Fritz on that one. But this is a huge opportunity for somebody like Corey Bunch or shoot, even Warren Kyle Keith. I mean, he's in the catbird seat now. He's going to have the freshest tires of everyone, and all he did is stay out a little bit longer.
Yeah, and you know what? Justin Parham did not go a lap down there, even though he decided to pit just because of when the caution came out. So Parham also going to cycle around, I believe. A lot of guys going to be taking the wave around here to get back on the lead lap. Warren Keith does lead the field off of pit road. Looks like 9 guys pit. Now, talk about guys that this benefits. I mean, holy smokes. Matt Bayens, Devin Zimmerman, Sharn Hill, Kenneth Redinger. Those guys, with the exception of Sharn Hill, none of them had been in the top 10 all night long. In fact, they've had more issues than they have just kind of riding back there. But now, with a timely caution, it puts a couple key playoff drivers in position to potentially finish with a top 5, or even guys like Zimmerman, the potential to get up there and finish in the top 3 here. I mean, how huge is that, Jesse?
I mean, this is massive because, like, looking at the standings right now, you know, we got these guys that are taking the wave around. 2 of them are playoff drivers, but they're going to be on old tires, well, fairly old tires, with the exception of Parham. Then you have 2 more guys, Matthew Fritz, Garrett Walden, both of those with late issues. But then you got Warren Kyle Keith, he's leading this race. Zimmerman, he's not been in the top 10 all night, and he's sitting here P5 on fresh tires. I mean, this just turned this whole race completely on its head, especially for the playoff field.
It certainly did, and you got all the way back to 9th in Sharn Hill. All of those guys, the top 9, pit on lap 112. That is this caution. We're taking a look at the next guy, Jay Stinson. He's going to restart 10th. He pit on lap 103, to your point there, Jesse, as well as Ryan Hufford, lap 103, Nicholas Walthorn 102, Travis Bennett 105, and then on back from there. Matthew Fritz, Garrett Walden, Ryan Gomes, Ian Davis, Brandon Anderson, all trapped at least 1 lap down. Anderson, unfortunately, 2 laps down.
And the pace car is off, and we are back under green as Warren Kyle Keith has another phenomenal jump on the outside. There were so many cars a lap down or taking the wave around, and we only had 4 rows that were double file for this restart.
Yeah, that's another added layer. You don't get that double file restart like when it's a normal restart. It makes it even more challenging to make passes and get past guys. As we see the 05 of Sharn Hill, a little bit loose and maybe touching the wall just a little bit. He does keep momentum in front of a whole pack of drivers. That would have been absolute carnage if he had went around there.
Yeah, I mean, we got Matthew Fritz. He's just trying to make sure that he stays the first car 1 lap down on this restart. I don't think he's going to have any issues as he's got a big buffer behind him. But Sharn Hill, it looked like he just caught the wall and just couldn't get it off the wall. But and now we got the 09 of Holden Wheeler. He's up 10 spots on the night, tied as our biggest mover. Just made the pass on Corey Bunch and sets his sight on the 9 of Warren Kyle Keith.
Yeah, Holden Wheeler having himself a really good night here. He also pit on lap 112, so he's throwing caution to the wind here, trying to chase down the 9 of Warren Keith and play spoiler for all these playoff drivers and avoid anyone from locking in. We would actually love that. That would mean there's 8 guys coming out next week, all looking for a potential win and to get in on points. We're going to check back in on that. Kenneth Redinger is on the inside of Devin Zimmerman, or I'm sorry, Michael Lepicki was on the inside of Kenneth Redinger. Doesn't complete the pass. Matthew Fritz moving up, trying to stay, like you said, Jesse, the first car 1 lap down to these guys just in case of a late race caution. Oops. Didn't want to go there. I wanted to go here.
Well, you were in the right spot. Holden Wheeler's fighting hard for the lead right now, and he actually, I don't know if there was any contact or something, but Warren Kyle Keith loses 3 spots out of it as he gets passed by Bayens. So the top 3 are all outside of the playoffs at this point. Well, now the top 2.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know what happened. He dropped like a rock.
Yeah, that was interesting, and it looked like Bayens had the momentum there. I don't know what, I think maybe he might have slapped the wall or something like that. Who knows? But Holden Wheeler, nonetheless, the 09 in the lead here with the 02 of Corey Bunch, hot on his tail with just 8 laps to go. A lot going on here, folks. Sorry we're jumping around so much, but I mean, it's a good thing. There's a ton of good racing. Look at this group here. Holy smokes. As with the exception of Matthew Fritz, all these guys on the lead lap, 4 of them are playoff drivers.
Yeah, and I mean, we have one guy back here that has virtually dominated the race. The 19 of Parham, sitting here in P8 after he's led nearly the entire race pretty much up to this point, the stage winner and everything. You know, he's got to be driving with some red in his eyes right now.
Oh,
the
yeah.
05 of Sharn Hill, he kind of took advantage of that caution. He's back up into P6. Redinger, he hadn't had a very good night to this point. He's been involved in 2 wrecks, but here he is inside the top 5. Then you got the 67 of Matthew Fritz, another guy that's been up front all night, and he's a lap down. He's not even a part of this battle.
Yeah, and Kenneth Redinger finding himself 5th place right now in this race with just 4 laps to go. That caution could have helped out guys like Redinger and Sharn Hill and Zimmerman, who now sits 8th more than anyone else. And we have a battle for the lead here. The 02 of Corey Bunch looking to the inside of the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Warren Keith has crawled back to find himself on the outside of Corey Bunch.
And Corey Bunch is being very respectful to giving the 9 of Warren Kyle Keith the room that he needs. But yeah, the 09 of Wheeler, he is just trying to position his car. I'd be curious to see if there's going to be a bump and run possibly as the laps wind down.
Yeah, we're going to see Holden Wheeler extremely fast on entry of the corner and holding off the 9 of Warren Keith as well as the 02 of Corey Bunch for right now. That battle a little bit ago that we showed 4 playoff drivers all going for has since cooled off, and we are on the final lap as Warren Keith looks to the outside now of the 09 of Holden Wheeler.
And Holden Wheeler, he washes really tight on the exit of the corner. And he's going to dive it down. Oh, I thought he was about to try to move Warren out of the way. But he does not. He plays it respectfully. Warren Kyle Keith is your winner tonight, and he locks himself into the championship 4.
And just like he did in race 1 of round 1, he takes care of business here tonight at Iowa in race 1 of round 2. Leaves no question if he's going to be in the championship 4. Takes care of business the first night. And man, what a finishing grid we have to bring you here. That caution, to your point, Jesse, mixed up everything. There's going to be a couple drivers extremely happy after that, and a couple drivers not happy at all. Let's bring up tonight's final grid here, final results, I should say, as Warren Keith burns it down one more time. start back at the beginning. Warren Keith with yet another win on the season to lock himself into that championship 4. Corey Bunch finishes second. Holden Wheeler gets his first podium of the season with a third place finish. Matt Baines finishes 4th. Kenneth Redinger in 5th. Sharn Hill in 6th. Justin Parham in 7th. Devin Zimmerman in 8th. Michael Lepicki in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 was AJ Evangelista. Jesse?
And finishing first car outside of the top 10, Travis Bennett after a fairly strong night. Just a rough end to the race. Jay Stinson, P12. Ryan Hufford in 13th. Nicholas Walthorn in 14th. Rounding out your top 15 is Matthew Fritz, first person, 1 lap down. Ian Davis is P16, 1 lap down. Ryan Gomes also 1 lap down in 17th. And 2 laps down, Garrett Walden after a rough ending to the race, P18. Lauren Vincent 5 laps down in P19. Brandon Anderson rounds out your top 20, 13 laps down. To round out your field, all 24 laps down or more, Philip Ellis Jr., Charles Balance, Josh Hall, and Derek Da Silva.
Right on. Well, an exciting finish. We're going to give all these guys an opportunity to take a breather and a little bit of a break before we get with them in your post-race show. Stay with us, though. A lot of action still to come. Going to have interviews with the top 3 as usual. And then Jesse and I going to dissect the playoff points and how tonight went. See if we can't see where people are going to be coming into next week. So don't go anywhere. We're going to hear a brief word from some of our sponsors here at Royalty Racing Network, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. It is time to start our post-race show, and you see the results on your screen. The top 3 are ready to go. Let's start now by bringing in the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Holden, welcome in, man. Congrats on your first podium in the SCSRA, only here for a few races and already making an impact. Tell us down the stretch there how things were feeling. We saw you lead some laps, ultimately finishes 3rd, but a great night at the Speedway. Tell us what your thoughts were.
Yeah, it was a really good race by me and great car. Not a great qualifying effort to start off. 12th place, I'm pretty sure. But overall, pretty good day. That last caution definitely saved me. Staying out was the right move. I didn't know if it would be, but ended up paying off. And yeah, I got to lead a couple laps there at the end, but I got so tight and slid up. Warren got under me, and there it went.
Hey man, you put up a hard-fought battle, and you came out here tonight's biggest mover on the evening. 9 spots is what you picked up over the course of the race, and well-timed caution, good strategy call. Holding only a few races in, tell us kind of so far what your overall thoughts are on the SCSRA, and if you're going to come back next season, perhaps full-time.
Yeah, ever since I've joined this league, it's been a great experience. Sean has given me a great opportunity with him, and I will definitely be back for next season.
Right on, man. Well, Holden, first time joining me in the booth. So, as always, we're going to give you some time to talk about who you'd like to thank or shout out tonight before we let you go celebrate this one with your teammates and friends.
Yeah, I mainly like to thank Sean and Warren for that great racing there at the end, and Corey. That was a lot of fun.
Right on, man. Well, Holden, congrats once again on the podium. Go celebrate it. We'll see you back out here next week.
Yeah, thank you, man. See ya.
Once again, folks, that was your third place finisher, the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Next up, we have the second place finisher, and Jesse's going to take this one. That one is going to be with the 02 of Corey Bunch.
Hey, Corey, it's Jesse in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, well, what's going on, everybody?
Well, congratulations on your P2 run tonight, man. I guess just dissect those that last run of the race with the late caution and looking at a potential win in your windshield.
Well, I'll say this first. I'm kind of hating myself for putting on this heater in this room because I feel like a rotisserie chicken that's been heated on one side.
Hey, look, I'm not even
So-
driving, and I'm 100% with you on that.
but no, like it was. I was just content trying to be in the top 5 because I feel like I had decent speed. It was just when you go in that transition between like the long run, I felt I was kind of off because I just feel like I kept sliding that right front tire. So I was trying to back it up to just survive and maybe to stay as long as I can in the pits and get the tire advantage for that last little bit. And then the caution came out, and I'm like, oh, well, changes everything. So I feel like I had a shot, and then here comes the 09, and then him and Keith go at it, and I was like, oh man, it's like they can keep battling, I'll have a chance, and I think I needed maybe one more lap to try to dive it in there to get a win, but hey, I'll take another second, and I can't complain one bit. It's just these cars are just fun to drive, and it's kind of fun being a part-time driver and then just to have fun, or in this case, suffer with your friends.
Well, I got one question for you before we get to the shout outs. Being a part-time driver, as you said, all you're doing is going out here trying to have some fun and try to go for some wins. But is there a thought in the back of your head? You're looking at the bumper of the 9 car Warren Kyle Keith. You know he's a playoff driver. You know he's sitting pretty in the standings. Is there anything going through your head where you're thinking maybe I could just move him out of the way, try to get this checkered flag?
I mean, I'll try to do what I can to like pass McCleanly and stuff, but to ever rough him up, no, not even any kind of playoff drivers to rough him up because I don't want to try to ruin their chances because I do think about that sometimes. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, kind of like how it was right here. I mean, if I've got a shot to go for a win, then by God, I'm gonna go for the win, and I'll deal with the repercussions later on because I'm as Travis would say, I'm here to steal playoff points, and in that mindset, that's kind of really the case because you want to go out there and not ruin everybody else's race, or at least the playoff drivers will ruin their chance to get max points, but you want to do the best for yourself and then go from there. But as far as trying to like rough them up or dump them or just bump and run, anything like that, no, I wouldn't do anything that malicious or anything like that. I just like I said, just here to have fun and just race people hard, but race them clean as well.
Okay, got it. So if you would have been behind the '09, you'd rough him up a little bit, but not a playoff guy. Got it.
Well, that's kind of like it's kind of like how I am in general with anybody, because I did have I did give the '09 a shot. I did see the 0X that popped up on my screen there where I ended up tapping him. I think it was going into 3 and 4 when I was behind him, but I was just kind of just giving him the old Days of Thunder, hey, remember me? So it's like,
No,
that kind
man,
of deal. But
I'm just trying to give you a hard time. I always enjoy our
oh
conversations,
yeah,
man. But
absolutely.
hey, congratulations on P2 tonight. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
No, let's give a shout out to this Full Throttle Motorsports. This Travis will give me a hard time that this car's still unsponsored, which it won't be for long. But for the time being, I'll still sport out this orange tangerine car over here, and just go out there and have fun. While the season winds down. So, gotta thank them. Gotta thank all the Royalty Motorsports guys for letting me hang out with them, with Garrett and Warren and Matt and all them guys. Lauren. I think I said Garrett already. Well, either or. But yeah, just all them guys, just to go there and hang out. And then I appreciate you guys for broadcasting this event as well. Was kind of dreading it. It was going to be just like hard to pass and stuff, but when you get in these situations like the battle for the win, I hope that was pretty entertaining for you all as it was for us, because the top 3 guys we just got to talking about it. And I was like, man, that was pretty fun. Just racing hard but not dumping one another. So that was always the main goal. So, but it was a lot of fun. But we appreciate you guys as well. And yeah, let's go into whatever track we're at next week. I don't know. I never look at the schedule really. I just put the car in the hauler and go. So we'll just wherever we go to next week. I think they said Kentucky, which ought to be fun. If not, then we'll figure it out and we'll go from there. We'll do it again next week.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for your time tonight. Great race tonight. Congratulations on the P2. Go enjoy this one, and we'll catch you next time.
Talk a plan. Thank you.
All right, once again, folks, that was your second place finisher, the O2 of Corey Bunge. Man, Corey is always fun to talk to. He always makes me laugh, and just a real good dude to race. Obviously, phenomenal driver. But time to get now with our winner, and once again, the 9 of Warren Keith. Warren, welcome back to the broadcast booth. Again, you did exactly what you did in round 1. You locked in after race 1. Did you feel like you had the opportunity to win tonight, or was it kind of, hey, you know what, we're just going to come out there and do what we could? I know you got short practice session as far as this evening goes. What were your overall thoughts and feelings about it coming in?
I actually didn't get any practice at all. We got in here really late from getting home. Luckily, everything's all set up. I did the night before, but yeah, no practice. Literally qualifying was my first laps tonight to feel like the car was driving. But yeah, no, tonight was just kind of just a point night, realistically, especially after getting home so late. I kind of told myself, I'm like, probably not going to win this race. But, powers it may be, pit strategy worked out, staying out. I know this league well enough that probably staying out is going to be your best bet usually. So stayed out as long as we could. Just sucks for Justin. He pitted the lap, literally the wrong lap. It's probably going to pit about 5 laps later anyway. So sucks, but glad we got the opportunity to go out there and try to win it. When obviously we did, and we'll just look ahead to go to Homestead and try to see what we can do there.
Yeah, now I mean we're having the same conversation as after that first race in round 1, but you lock yourself in now. Does that change the mindset coming into next week? And it's kind of, hey, just go in there, maybe try to win a stage, see what I can do, but focus a little bit more on Homestead since that is the championship race? Or does the mindset stay the same, come out next week, win that too, and then go on to Homestead from there?
Well, I mean, I would love to go out there and try to win that too. Not out of spite, but just out of the point that, that might be a shot that someone else doesn't have that might be a threat at Homestead. I don't know how else to really word that. So I mean, we'll go out there and race hard. Obviously, now that we're locked in, if there's going to be, with it being a cutoff race for the championship, if stuff gets a little iffy, I'm backing out of it. I'm not getting in the middle of that. So we'll just go out there, race hard, and again, just like tonight, kind of see how it plays out. If we're battling for a win at the end of the race, you bet your butt I'm going to try to go for it. But if we run 5th or 10th, or it doesn't matter where we finish, we're going to Homestead. So it'll just be a fun night, kind of first time in a while, maybe since the beginning of the season, kind of go into a race, kind of just, all right, let's go out here, let's actually have some fun, and get ready and start testing for Homestead probably later this week.
Right on, man. Well, as we've heard so many times before this season, before we let you go pop the champagne in victory lane, who would you like to thank and shout out tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody at Royalty for coming on out. Again, great battle there at the end between Holden and Corey. Hopefully it was great on the broadcast, because it was, let me tell you, it was hard inside the car for how loose the cars were. St. Augustine Bass Pro Shop's been on the car every week in some capacity. And then obviously everyone at SKM on the paint schemes. Now it's not just me making them anymore. There's a couple of people actually starting to make them. So we'll go in the next week and just have fun, and hopefully see everybody there.
Right on, Warren. Appreciate you joining me once again. Congrats on making the championship race now. And we will see you back out here next week.
Sound good. See you then.
Once again, folks, that was your winner, the 9 of Warren Keith. Now, Jesse, let's take a look here. We're going to pull up once again the playoff points, how they looked coming into this evening. We're going to kind of talk about it a little bit. Obviously, Warren locks in, so he will stay at the top of that board. Justin Parham, nice rally. As Warren said, he pit one lap too early. He still came back to rally and finish 7th. Guys that may be in a little bit of trouble after tonight, Garrett Walden, Jay Stinson, Matthew Fritz. What do you think?
I'll be honest, while you were doing that last interview, I was doing some math, and these points are not official by any means, but it's looking like we got about a four driver battle from 4th to 6th that's all going to be within about 4 points of one another. Kenneth Redinger, I think, is going to be just above the cut line, followed by Matthew Fritz, Jay Stinson, and Devin Zimmerman, all within about 4 or 5 points of one another. Garrett Walden is about 9 points behind all of that. Points could swing depending on bonus points. I did not keep track of incidents, because there are bonus points for having an incident-free race. But, man, looking at it going into next week, Sharn Hill is 10 points above the cut line as of now, unofficially. Jay Stinson, 2 points below the cut line. Zimmerman, Redinger, just because of that great finish, because of that late race caution, he gets no stage points, but unofficially above the cut line right now. So next week is going to be very interesting. It's this could play in many different ways, but Kentucky is going to be a little bit of a wild card track in these cars, with that almost flat out turn 1 and 2, followed by a heavy braking zone into 3 and 4. These cars are going to be on top of one another, trying to hold momentum the best they can. And these guys are going to be fighting for every spot they can.
Yeah, and another driver to really rally tonight, Devin Zimmerman. He was struggling a little bit at times, and it worked out for him with that last caution and being able to pit after moving up a ton of positions, and finished 8th. So may not have got stage points like you said, like a couple other drivers, but did have a quality finish when it was all said and done. For guys like Garrett Walden, got to come in next week with the mindset that you finish, top 5 in the stage, top 5 at the end of the race, and do everything you can possibly do and hope the chips fall your way, with kind of the way things went the first round, to be honest. But every driver still a good opportunity. But Sharn Hill, Kenneth Redinger, I mean, amazing finishes to look at where they were at one point. Obviously, Sharn didn't have that bad of a night. He started falling off with tire wear there late in that long green flag run, but got some stage points. Jay Stinson, I mean, those stage points where he managed to get from 10th up to, I believe, 7th. I mean, how big are those going to play at the end of this thing? It's wild. It's crazy. I love the playoff structure that this league has and the way it's been working out. It makes it really, really exciting. Then you add a race that was exciting and thrilling all the way from first and second to 19th and 20th all night long on the speedway, and you can't ask for much more than that. And the SCSRA Frye Disposal ARCA series does it every single Tuesday night, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they put on one heck of a show tonight. I mean, I even told you, I wish they didn't repave the bottom 2 lanes, but man, did it put on a show tonight. I was proven wrong in multiple ways tonight. I picked Sharn Hill to win. He struggled on the long run, started making some compounding mistakes, but was kind of bailed out by a good strategy and being able to work fresh tires at the end of the race. And man, there was 2, 3, even 4 wide at times. The bottom line across the front stretch was really dirty. It was hard to hold the bottom. But these guys put on a show and kept it fairly clean considering.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great race. There was a moment there when I think it was after the stage where then we had a really quick caution, and I thought, oh man, don't let this be one of those races where we go almost the whole stage, really nice racing, and then it turns into a caution fest. But no, they figured it out. I think we had just the one other caution. So 3 total cautions due to incident and then the one stage. So ultimately, very good race here at Iowa. Looking forward to next week for Kentucky. But unless you have anything else to add, we'll kind of close this up and get ready for Kentucky ourselves next week.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I really have to add is, guys like Parham and Fritz, those 2 guys essentially dominated the night, but they don't have much to show for it beyond a bunch of stage points and a decent finish because of the fact of how the cautions fell at the end of the race. So, they're going to be going into next week's race with a big chip on their shoulder, trying to see what they can do to fix the wrongs that wasn't necessarily their faults tonight. A lot of what ifs leaving tonight, but we got a lot to look forward to next week.
Absolutely, and that's honestly just part of racing. You could do everything right, like a Matthew Fritz did tonight, and then end up with the finish that he ended up having. But Matthew Fritz, you've known him a long time. I've known him a long time. He's been around in the SCSRA a long time. This won't faze him. He'll get back on the horse, if you will, and get ready for next week and come out and put on a show, trying to get into the championship 4 there. But Jesse, again, always a pleasure to have you. I hope you join me again next week. We're going to give out some sponsor shout-outs here. First and foremost, as always, Frye Disposal, awesome sponsor of the SCSRA ARCA Series for the 2nd year running, and they are coming back confirmed from Jay Stinson for a 3rd season and for the foreseeable future as well. Check them out at frydisposal.com or give them a call at the number on your screen. They do weekly trash pickup in Smith County, Virginia, and the surrounding areas. And if you mention this broadcast, they'll give you $10 off of your services. Once again, that's frydisposal.com. And then Majestic Promotional Branded Apparel, whether you run a company, a government agency, a sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement with Majestic Promotional and Branded Apparel. Comment for details or click the link and you can get some of your own Royalty Racing Network gear or even Royalty Motorsports gear. We got a ton of it on there, and it's all super high quality and made right here in the USA, Colorado specifically. And finally, SM Racing Products. Take your sim racing experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more. With SM Racing Products, check them out at sm-racingproducts.com and use promo code royalty at checkout to save 20% off of your purchase of $150 or more. And that's a sweet deal. You got to check out some of their products. For Jesse Whittington and everyone here at Royalty Racing Network and everyone at the SCSRA Frye Disposal ARCA Series, my name is Joshua King, hoping you have a good rest of the week. We'll see you back out here next Tuesday night at Kentucky for the conclusion of round 2, and we'll set up the championship 4 at Homestead. Good night.